entire left-wing establishment has targeted Madison Cawthorn as public enemy number one. Their smears and attacks are relentless, and they've tried everything to take him down. But Madison Cawthorn cannot be stopped, and that's why they are terrified of him, because he's effective. Despite all adversity, Madison Cawthorn continues to stand up and fight to represent the people of North Carolina in the D.C. swamp. He is our champion for faith, family, and freedom, and will never stop putting America first.
I'm Madison Cawthorn. I approve this message.
So there's Madison Cawthorn's ad about how the left is coming after him, hardcore. They're just afraid of him. Now, twist to this story. Embattled North Carolina Congressman Madison Cawthorn is facing another problem on Thursday. A Republican primary opponent won an endorsement from one of the state's Republican US senators from his own state. Be your own people, man. So Senator Tom Tillis, he's Republican from North Carolina, just like Cawthorn, said that Cawthorn has, quote, fallen well short of the most basic standards Western North Carolina expects from their representatives. And he supports state legislator Chuck Edwards in that Republican primary that's scheduled for May 17th. The 11th congressional district deserves a congressman who is fully dedicated to serving their constituents, is what Tom Tillis said about Madison Cawthorn versus this new guy that he's now supporting. But Madison Cawthorn will still put out ads saying the left is coming after him, they're afraid of him, he's standing up for your rights and all these types of things. But it looks like the Republican Party is what's coming after him. Again, Ricky, you know why? Because he's challenged their power with this story of the orgies and the cocaine.
Man, whatever. So
that's what it is.
I got it. If we can go back and just freeze frame on the last part of that video where he is, excuse me, where he is gloating about the Trump endorsement. I'd just like to show this one more time because go for it. Because the irony in all of this is when he, God, this ad sucks. So when he is promoting this like great endorsement, when Cawthorn was running, and he obviously won, you know who didn't endorse him? Donald Trump. He did not endorse him the first time around. Sorry?
Also, Mark Meadows, his mentor, has been kind of distancing himself. He was kind of the guy who brought him in.
Because he's a freaking liar. He lies about everything. He lied about being admitted to the Naval Academy, and then when he was under oath, he was like, yeah, I was rejected. He said that he left college because, there it is, like it's a total sham. He said that he left college because he was like uninspired. Really, it was because, again, under oath, he got D's. Like something was gonna give at some point. Yeah. So don't like him. Hope he loses. And everything he has done to this point has been a giant grift, and honestly, a metaphorical middle finger to everyone who supported him and thought like change was gonna be made. There certainly was a change. It was just the darkest turn of changes that you could imagine.
This member of Congress from North Carolina went on to suggest he had observed his peers using cocaine and had been invited to parties unfit for discussion on a Sunday night television show. In less than one full term in Congress, this member claims he witnessed or was asked to participate in all manner of illegality and immorality. So my question for the congressman is simply this: who? Give us the names. If you're being invited to cocaine parties by colleagues, tell us who invited you. Who used illicit drugs in front of you? Who broke the very laws they passed and expect us to follow? Which of your colleagues thinks he or she is above the law? Who is doubling as a deviant by night while talking about family values by day? So stop with the nuance. Name the politicians or other officials who did drugs in front of you and invited you to sex parties. The people I was around did none of what you described, ever. So if you're being invited to NC-17 parties and watching people do cocaine, then you're hanging around with the wrong people. But you should name them so their constituents know what they're doing on the people's time. And if, on the other hand, none of what you described really happened, you need to admit that too.
There's Trey Gotti on Fox News now, former a former elected official talking about the people he used to hang out with, and it's nothing like what Madison Cawthorn's talking about. And name some names. I find it odd that suddenly, when it comes to this particular accusation, now Republicans want names to be named. They want specifics. They want examples. When it comes to everything else, when they're talking about all these horrible things the Democrats are doing to the country, there's not many details that they're looking to give. And when someone asks them for details, it's, you need to just look at how bad things are going. There's never any specifics, because there's nothing there. Now they want some answers because this is damaging to them. So CNN's Jim Acosta also did go and ask Madison Cawthorn that same question. Can you give us more details? Tell us what's happened. Madison Cawthorn wanted nothing to do with this. Watch.
Congressman, you got a second? Just want to ask you about the meeting with Leader McCarthy.
Jim, I got to get rid of the vote. Apologize.
He said what you said was not true about the cocaine and the word you used. What's that? Any chance we get a quick comment here at the crosswalk?
You have to go through Luke Law.
What's that?
Just contact our press secretary, Luke Law. If you want an interview, you got to go through our guy.
In order to get an interview with me, you got to go through some representatives, or maybe just go on some random podcast, and I'll tell you all of the dirty secrets. Lastly, before we let you jump in here, I want to get to Lauren Witzke and her co-host, because they're still buying this. As we talked about last week, the damage is done. So if we're looking for some names, name them, because these folks definitely are buying it. Watch.
So, there's multiple people that have experienced this. I'm grateful to hear that Madison Cawthorn didn't get drug in. He was able to expose it before, but how come we haven't heard of this before? That would have been the first thing I'd be blasting from the rooftops.
Well, I think that clearly it's a well-kept secret, and of course a secret that could lead to deaths. And I think
that's why McCarthy's getting involved.
Well, Mr. McCarthy, you've got quite a caucus.
You got quite a caucus there, Mr. McCarthy. How are you gonna deal with this? I know this has been the 5th level of the Madison Cawthorn fallout, but they're still looking for those answers. Madison Cawthorn looks shook for the first time in his political career, because who knows what they told him behind closed doors, Adrian? I guess I'm only guessing at this point.